going on, JW Faction? My name is Josh Williamson. So for this little video recipe, I'm going to show you how to make fried donuts. These are very easy to put together and they taste really good, so let's get started. So to start this recipe off, in the stand mixer bowl, I have 1/4 cup of water along with 1.5 cups of milk that I microwaved until it was 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if you don't have a thermometer, you can just check the milk in the water by putting your finger in it, and if it's slightly warmer than your finger, that's where you know it's ready. But to that, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of active dry yeast, and we're going to let this sit for about 2 minutes just to give the yeast a chance to activate. Alright, so the yeast is done sitting, and I gave it a little bit of a stir around just to get the yeast evenly coated. But anyways, to that, we're going to add 1/2 cup of white sugar, 2 beaten eggs, 1/3 cup of melted butter, and I've got 5 cups of all-purpose flour here, but for now we're only going to add 2 cups of that. And using the paddle attachment to the stand mixer, we're going to mix it all together until it's well combined. Alright, and after that's mixed in, we're going to now add the rest of the 3 cups of flour. The other 3 cups of the 5 cups of flour, that is. And mix that together until it forms a dough. Alright, so now that the dough is formed out of all that, what we're going to do now is cover this bowl up in plastic wrap, and we're going to let this sit and rise for 1 hour. Alright, so the dough has just gotten finished rising, and look at how much it's risen. It's pretty big, huh? But anyways, I transferred it to a floured surface, and what we're going to do now, yes, you see that rolling pin right there. I'll show you what it's for in a minute. What you want to do now is knead it on the floured surface until it becomes smooth and elastic, and occasionally use some more flour and put it on the surface just to keep it from sticking. I'll come back when I'm done. Alright, so now the dough is nice and smooth, what we're going to do now is take this rolling pin, and I put some flour on the rolling pin too, and also keep the counter floured as well. And we want to roll it out until it's about 1/4 inch thick. Alright, so now that the dough is now rolled out, what we're going to do now is take a pretty big cookie cutter and cut a circle out, and take a smaller one and cut the center out. And that's where you get your donut shape, like this. And just repeat the process with the rest of the dough you have. Alright, so I transferred the donut cuts onto a baking tray that I've lined with parchment paper, and I sprinkled some flour on the parchment paper as well to keep it from sticking. And what we're going to do now is sprinkle just a little bit of flour over top of the donut cuts. And now what I'm going to do is cover this with a towel, and we're going to let this rise again one last time for about 40 minutes. They're not going to rise as much as they did the first time. They're just going to puff up a little bit. Alright, so now I have a deep fryer here that I preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 180 degrees Celsius. Now, if you want to use a pot filled with oil, then go for it. Just make sure you have one of those, candy thermometers on hand that you can stick in and it'll check the temperature of the oil. But anyways, what we're going to do now, after the oil is preheated, take some of the donut cuts and drop them in. Now, only do a couple at a time, okay? Because if you do too many at once, they could possibly stick together, and the oil will cool down, and that'll cause the donuts to become soggy. But anyways, you want to let them fry on both sides for about maybe 30 seconds or to a minute, and then you want to turn them over and do the same with the other side. Alright, so after they turn a nice golden brown on both sides, what you want to do now is let the oil drain off them like this after you take the basket off, and transfer it to a plate lined with paper towel to drain some of the excess oil off, and I'll show you my 3 favorite ways of designing donuts. Alright, so now it's time to top and coat our donuts. Now, starting off with the ones I just took out of the fryer, I got some cinnamon sugar in this bowl right here, and what I'm going to do now is take one of the donuts and coat them in the cinnamon sugar like I just did right here, and just repeat the process with however many cinnamon donuts you want. Like I said, you can design these donuts however you want to. You can coat them in glaze, coat them in just regular sugar, whatever. I'm going to show you 3 ways of doing this, and this is one of them. These are my 3 favorite ways of doing so. The next way I'm going to design my donuts is I got some cake frosting out of a container that I melted in the microwave, and I'm just going to take one of the donuts and dunk it in like this. See how it's now topped with the chocolate icing? And now just repeat the process with as many of these as you want to do. And the last way I'm showing for this video is I've got some melted strawberry cake frosting that I melt in the microwave. And like with the chocolate ones, just dunk them in like this. See how it's now nice and topped with that frosting. And like I said, do the rest of the other ones, and I'll come back and I'll show them for presentation. Alright, our donuts are now done. Like I said, they were so easy to put together. Yeah, a bit time consuming, but who cares? They taste amazing, and they're actually a lot cheaper than buying a case of donuts from Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts or whatever kind of donut shop you have around you. These are very cheap to put together, they taste amazing, and you can design them however you want to. But if you try this recipe out, leave in the comment section down below and tell me what you thought, whether you liked it or you hated it. And if you liked this video, thumb it up. If you hate this video, thumb it down. And be sure to click subscribe and become a member of the JW faction on a journey to 10,000 subscribers. See you later.